gotten pretty good at reading the room. You know when to turn it down, when to hold it back, and you know which version of yourself lands well with which people, and which version you probably should just leave at home. And you've been doing this for so long, it doesn't even feel like effort anymore. It just feels like how you move through the world. But there are moments, quiet ones, usually when no one's watching, when something in you asks how much longer you're going to keep doing this. Because you've been doing this your whole life, adjusting, softening, and squeezing into a stifled version of you that doesn't quite fit, trying to show up in a way that doesn't make people uncomfortable, and it has never really worked. Not because you haven't tried hard enough. Oh, you've tried. You have tried harder than most people will ever know. But no matter how much you adjust, there's always someone who still doesn't get you, still finds you too much or not enough, and still looks at you like something about you needs to be corrected. And here's what I want you to understand about that: they're not lying about what they see, but they are wrong about what it means. Here's what's actually happening when someone tells you that you're too much or not enough. They're not comparing you against some objective standard of how a person is supposed to be. They're comparing you against themselves, against how they move through the world, against what feels normal and right and reasonable to them. And for them, it is normal, it is right. It's just how they're wired. The problem is they don't know that. So they think they're seeing you clearly. They think they're giving you accurate feedback. They think the way they process the world is just the way the world works. So when you show up differently, it doesn't feel like a difference to them. It feels like a problem. And the person who told you that you were too intense wasn't wrong that you're intense. They were wrong that the intensity is the problem. They were reading you through their own wiring and calling it a verdict. And the person who said you needed to slow down or speak up or stop taking everything so personally or get out of your head, they weren't seeing something broken in you. They were seeing something unfamiliar to them. And unfamiliar is uncomfortable. So they handed it back to you as a correction. And you took it because they said it with such certainty and because it came from people you trusted. Because after you had heard it enough times, it started to sound like the truth. But it was never the truth. It was just their lens. And their lens was never meant to define you. So let me tell you what was underneath all of that trying. Some of you have always noticed things other people walk right past. The detail nobody caught, the tension in the room nobody wanted to name. You tried to turn it off. You tried to stop saying it out loud, but you couldn't stop seeing it. And you were told you were too much in your head, too critical, too intense. That's perceiving energy, and it was never the problem. Some of you have always moved toward people who needed something before they asked, sometimes before they even knew they needed it. You tried to pull it back and you tried to let things go, but something in you couldn't leave a gap unfilled. And you were told you were too accommodating, too focused on everyone else. That's serving energy, and it was never a weakness. Some of you have always needed to fully understand something before you could move forward. You tried to just go with it. You tried to decide faster, but you couldn't let something go until it made sense. And you were told you were overthinking it. You were too slow, too complicated. That's teaching energy, and it was never a liability. Some of you have always believed in people, even when they didn't believe in themselves, and you tried to be more realistic. You tried to stop getting your hopes up, but you kept seeing what was possible, even when nobody else could. And you were told you were too optimistic, too naive. That's encouraging energy, and it was never foolishness. Some of you have always given your time, your energy, your attention, and you tried to hold it back and you tried to say no, but generosity was always your first instinct, even when you didn't have enough yourself. And you were told you were too much, that people would take advantage. That's giving energy, and it was never a flaw. Some of you have always seen what needed to happen before anyone else did. You tried to wait, you tried to let others lead, but you couldn't stop seeing the path forward when everyone else was still figuring out there was a problem. And you were told you were too controlling, too aggressive, too much. That's leading energy, and it was never arrogance. Some of you have always felt what other people feel, not just noticed it, actually felt it. You tried to build walls, you tried to stop caring so much, but other people's pain kept landing in you like it was your own. And you were told you were too sensitive, too emotional, too attached. That's mercying energy, and it was never the problem. One of those hit in your spirit differently than the others, as if you heard, "That's me," because it was the most familiar, because it described exactly what you've been trying to change your whole life. That's not a coincidence, that's recognition. I want to introduce you to Ing energy. It isn't a personality type, it isn't a test result, it isn't a category someone sorted you into. It's the energy you were created with, the specific way you were wired to move through the world before anyone had an opinion about it, before anyone compared you against themselves and handed you a correction. There are 7 energy types. Every person is created with one that drives everything: how you think, how you love, how you work, how you show up before you've said a single word. And here's what I want you to sit with. The thing you've been trying to change your whole life, it isn't a flaw in your character. It isn't evidence that something is wrong with you. It's your ing type, and it was placed in you on purpose. You were never supposed to fit their lens. You were never supposed to adjust yourself down to a version they could be comfortable with. You were supposed to be exactly this. Do you know your ing type? Most people don't yet. That's exactly what the quiz is for. It's free, and your results go straight to your inbox, and the link is in the description. Because what you just felt when you heard one of those descriptions was not the end of something. That's the beginning of understanding why you move through the world the way you do, and why you were never supposed to stop. The link is in the description. You've spent your whole life trying to fit their version of you, trying to be the version that didn't make people uncomfortable, that didn't give anyone a reason to hand you another criticism. And I want to say something to you directly. That effort cost you, and you know it did. Maybe not in a dramatic way, but it wore you down and it stole your peace from years of adjusting. The low hum of never quite being accepted as you actually are, that's over now. Not because you finally figured out how to fit, because you just found out how you were created was intentional. Your ing type isn't a problem you need to change. It's how you were created to live from. Your identity is your purpose, and it has always been. I'll see you in the next video.